Part two of my self-balance in regards to the statement that I discovered that the thought of money, looking at money, working with money, having money makes me feel sick. I was getting like nausea and anxiety about it all. And since the last balance, I've been actually feeling awesome. And I've noticed changes within my business, changes within myself, even within my confidence levels, and even being able to talk to my husband more openly about numbers and looking at numbers myself, just updating my budget sheets, doing my reconciliation sooner, because normally I try and avoid it as long as I could, and then without even really noticing that, I just thought that was just something I just didn't have time to do. But yeah, it just came as part of my flow, and yeah, feeling much better. But after last session, it did say I needed to do another balance a week later to continue this work. And interestingly, a little later today, I'm actually taking part on a panel discussion with the Sacred You community about raising your vibration to attract more wealth. And that will be later on their YouTube page, and of course I'll share it on mine as well. And so let's start with my balancing technique, or my, using kinesiology. Some balance for myself is what I should mean. And so I'm just muscle testing on myself, because I can't do everything by hand. I'll just check that my triangle of health, which I reference as our holistic health, our mental, so the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects, the physical and structural aspects, the biochemical aspects, all good. Okay. Then my pre-checks, make sure I'm getting accurate information, ionization, switching, left-right switching, back to front switching. They're all good. Central meridian line is weak. Interesting. So I'm just imagining that I can clear out the gunk of my central meridian line. So the central meridian line runs up from the groin, between your legs, CV1 up to CV24, and it runs in an upwards direction. Sorry, I burp when there's energy shifting. The central meridian line is the feminine. The opposite is the masculine, which comes up through our spine, over our head, and finishes here. Central meridian finishes here. Okay, that's makes you feeling better. So now I'm going to run it 3 times up to help strengthen it. It's like doing a zipper up, only running it in the direction of flow. Ooh, I'm feeling a bit lightheaded too. Okay, so muscle test, then I'm going to run it in the opposite direction. And that should, unlock, and then running it back up. I wanted to make sure that it stays locked. Good. My life energy is low on that last lock. How many? So I just need to do 2 thymus thumps, and this is to bring my thymus, like almost like a vibrational resonance, to get through to the thymus to say, wake up, come back online. And, we need our energy to be able to move forward towards our goal. Then hydration's low as well. I do have the heater on this morning because it was so cold overnight. I'm still trying to warm the house up so it's comfortable for my clients. Hydration we need for ourselves, for our neurology, for so many things. And all our organs, including our brain, really needs hydration and being hydrated. Okay, so pinching my hand, and good. Then I'm probably forgotten something as well. Oh, centering, and that's fine. Okay. So now I'm coming to my old goal statement, which I'll check. I am comfortable with my abundance of wealth. Okay, so that goal is still relevant. I was going to write. Sometimes we adapt goals for clients, or evolve goals for clients, or sometimes there's a word that needs changing because you're working on yourself. Sometimes those words aren't relevant anymore because your frequency changes and your energy changes, and then the flow of where your blocks are also starts to move, because it's like working through the layers of an onion. Where you take one layer away, something else comes to the surface. So my old goal is still relevant, and now I've collected that data into my hips. Next, just the emotion of dread. Dread is still relevant also. Okay. Then I'm going to find out where my overall blocks are in context of my goal from the 5 elemental flow. So I've got my chart here on the left of my desk. So looking for the block: central, governing, fire, earth, spleen, stomach. From the top, Unreliable, reliable criticism. Discontentment is the overall, sorry, that's not what I'm looking. I'm not looking for the emotion. I made a mistake. I'm not thinking straight because obviously this is bringing something up, stirring something up where I can't, like my front brain is starting to now get a bit frazzled and foggy, and I'm just doing, I don't know, trying to go on automatic pilot rather than thinking logically. But it's obvious because this goal is having some impact on my neurology now. I'm just looking for the overall block, which was in Earth, which is in the stomach meridian, is our plus. And so let's see where it's stealing its energy from. Central governing fire, earth, metal, water. Bladder, kidney has the under energy. So energetically, what this is showing me that earth is trying to control water, and earth in the literal sense does control water by building dams. So this is like keeping things stuck so that I can't let my anxieties and fears go. So the emotions of anxiety, fear, dread, terror, and panic are all in the water element. Also futility, having to always be on top of things. Insecurities are also in the kidney meridian. And it's, yeah, so earth and stomach particularly is where my block is, and that's keeping the energy and stealing the energy from water. Because energy, remember back to the theory, is meant to be in a constant flow state. It's meant to be. We're meant to have abundant energy, an abundance of everything. You know, citizens of the world were entitled to an abundance and to joy. And yeah, so my energy block, so if we have a block somewhere and we put a plus symbol there, that means there has to be a minus to create that balance. And so my minus is in kidney today. And I have been making some nutritional changes, so this could also relate to that because of underlying health and genetic health conditions, and through menopause also have been exacerbated. And so they're hormonal changes, things that my body's doing, and so I'm changing, modifying my diet in order to support those changes. But those changes themselves could be creating this block, or there might be, well, we found the other emotion, discontentment of some form. And anyway, I won't keep babbling. I'll move forward with the balance. So I do have permission to work with this balance today. Okay, and do I have permission to clear this goal today? Nice. And do I have permission to muscle test on myself? So I better check. Okay, where am I going with my balance? Do I need to do any willingness statements? Are there any self-sabotages I need to clear? Are there any stress statements I need to work with first? And that was a no on all of those, which is good. So the balance today, is it from the digital database? And will they show an order of priority? Thank you. The digital database is I've studied with ICPKP, the International College of Professional Kinesiology Practitioners, and the whole program is actually written by a doctor. And kinesiology's history it's only sort of like a recent modality, but still many years, and came about because a chiropractor was finding that clients kept coming back. And so they'd been taught that, adjustments are meant to stay away and solve the problem, but he found it wasn't solving the problem. And there's a much bigger history than this, but this is just one example of how things came about. And so he realized that there must be something else underlying the physical needs of the client. So this is why, we start looking into a person holistically, because there isn't just the physical self, there's the emotional self, the mental self, the spiritual self, and then there's the biochemical self. So all those things that we eat, the things that we're exposed to, perfumes are highly toxic, for example. Cleaning products could be toxic and be creating problems. Hairdressers, for example, have been working with ammonia and other chemicals for a long time, and it gets absorbed into their skin, and the body's got to work out how to detox that, and sometimes it just gives up the detox process. So and there's so much, so many other aspects to it, but this represents why kinesiology is here to look at people holistically, and it is one of the few modalities that actually qualified someone to look at you holistically and work on all levels. Okay, so let's go to the database. Digital database must be loading. So the database gets updated regularly. There we go. So electrical, emotional, personal ecology. side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4. So I'll go to the end of the database list. 15s, 14 and a half, 14, 14A, 14B is detoxification, society-induced toxicity. Interesting. I've actually not even had this one come up. Detox society for a client, I should say. Society induced. I've forgotten. If this last time I would have done this was, 10 years ago. Society induced toxicity becoming more prevalent and requires detoxification. This mode, among the many things that may show here, are hormones in chicken meat, additives to the water supply, food additives, garden and roadside sprays, agricultural chemicals, etc. I was only just talking about that in context of the biochemical aspects. So, okay. The expression of canary in a coal mine relates to the caged canaries that mining workers carried out into the mine tunnels. It's if dangerous gases such as methane or carbon monoxide leaked into the mine, the gases kill the canary before killing the miners, thus providing a warning to exit the tunnel immediately. We live in a polluted world where some people's sensitivity to adverse conditions could be a useful early indicator of potential toxicity. Sadly, these signs are mostly ignored. Well, we've been talking about forever chemicals in the area that I live because they found them in one of the dams further up the hill, which feeds into Sydney waters. And but from my understanding, there's forever chemicals around for a long time, and a lot of us have been exposed to it, and they are literally forever chemicals, which our body struggles with. So that's one. Two, I do have changed our meats because that was one of the nutritional changes I referenced earlier. And so it could be the quality of the meat. We've just been getting it from the supermarket rather than straight from the farm. And yeah, could have been exposed to some chemicals. Neighbor next door has recently been putting something that smelled like chemicals, although they said it was fertilizers onto their lawns, and the whole house smelt of it. It smelled like a toxic chemical. So these are all types of examples of things that it could have been. Should have been muscle testing along the way then. So will you take me to the balance? Okay, so find the source of toxicity. Indicate change. Let's go internal toxicity, no, because even your body might already have toxins inside it. So that's why I thought check internal. Foods that I eat are a stress. Something that I ate last night, yeah. We did eat chorizo with the cheese, the milk, the not the pasta. Eat gluten-free pasta and alternatives to pasta. So it's none of those. But the chorizo, is there anything else I need to identify? Yes. So all processed meats for me. And we only ate it because it's been in the fridge for a week and in a vacuum sealed package, and we just thought we'll use up what's there. And yeah, so it's, to me, it's saying all processed meats, which is one of the things that I'm cutting out, but my body is obviously reacting to it, because that's also where stomach has the over energy today. Okay, so the emotion on this balance, we find, because according to Chinese theory, emotions are assigned to different organs, and that's what these lists are within each of the meridians. And so wood element, for example, gallbladder, liver, I'm working with stomach, we'll just say stomach and spleen. And so they're the names of organs, but they're also the names of meridians. And every single muscle in the body is on a meridian except for the eye muscles. Stomach also relates to the muscles of the jaw as well, interestingly. And the other week I did have one of my crowns fell off, and I had to go to the dentist and got anesthetic for them to be able to put it back on. So that's another form of toxicity that, when I had major dental work, actually created huge big disharmony within my digestive system. And it took me 8 months for my gut to heal and get back to a state of normal. So yeah, 2 weeks ago, I've had this injection. So that could also be impacting on the balance of what's going on in my digestive system. So I'm going to put that in there as well. Let's stack that in, dental. Now I've forgotten my train of thought. Oh, the emotion I'm looking for. So on this particular balance, central, oh no, it was amygdala. So amygdala is another chart, which I just keep on the back of this one. And the amygdala are the primitive fight, flight, emotion responses, just putting amygdala mode in circuit, disgust, fear, qualm. And yes, so they're fight, flight response emotions. They're our reactive emotions. They're really deeply held emotions. Qualm, anxiety, concern, edginess, dread, again. So my overall emotion is dread, and even this is dread. So maybe this is the underlying contributing factor. But remember, this has been, my overall goal has been a long-term problem. Chorizo was just a problem from last night, but maybe it's my whole gut. Maybe it relates to family history of digestive things. It could relate to a personal past life experience as well. That, anyway, led to something to do with this. So many different layers, but I'm not going to go into that now. And now, the next thing, find the type of detoxification need. See the list on the previous page. No, I haven't got that open. And, oh, here we go. The previous page is the next page. So healthy eating, diet, water, exercise. So healthy eating, and I'm already working on that with, I've got a integrative functional medicine doctor who's supporting me with this, and a cardiologist, and I am making those changes. So that's great. And I'd say part of the fact that I did this balance a week ago and started having other problems has all helped. And that's probably why I felt so great the last week. So that's my detoxification. Then any other aspect I need to know? No. And then do I need any other nutritional support other than what I'm doing? No. And is there any other homeopathic type support or frequency support needed? No. Okay. So is it okay to move forward? No. Do I need to do a balance for a balance? Okay, so I'm going to do a balance for a balance because I'm already made these changes. There's something more that I need to do. Digital database, electrical, emotional, personal ecology again. Side 1, side 2. You start with number 4. 4's 4.5, 4.5, 4.5 plus, 4.5 plus plus. We go like so, and relates to liver function. Okay. So find the emotion on my liver function. And overall emotion. I didn't get my other folder. So central, governing, fire, earth, spleen, stomach, top, bottom, bitter. Doubt is the emotion. That's self to self, self to others, others to self, others to others, self to life circumstances. Okay. And I'm going to get the liver chart out so that you can see what other things we have relevant. So I'm just going to put my hand under here to also put that in balance. That represents the NLs for the liver. And then I need to find the detoxification percentage of each pathway, detoxification pathway. So we've got our urinary tract system, water solubles and fat solubles. So percentage function of the phase 1 detoxification, above 50, above 40, 30, 20, 10, above 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I thought it'd be phase 1 equals 9%. Phase 2 equals about 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 6, 7, 87% function. Okay. So for the blood chemistry point, is it spleen 21? It's the K27. Find the I mode that strengthens the circuit. I'm just going to point this here. So up and left equals strengthen. And Then this is where I was going to get for you. Oh, liver chart. So every meridian that we work with has various other points that we work with as well. And so this is like the chart, for example. So we have the meridian itself. Then we have vertebral reflex points, alarm points, other points for tonifying and sedating your meridian to help bring it back online or to reduce its intensity. The neurolymphatic point, the also front and back. And then we've got neuroemotional point and then NV, which is what I'm going to be working with. And then this shows our muscle movement, the muscle itself, because it helps to also visualize sometimes a particular muscle that you're working with. And then there's the nutritional support as well that goes with that meridian. So liver works with both the pector major sternal and the rhomboids. So sometimes if you've got a physical pain there, that could be an over energy. And so I'm just following my steps, and so find the NL and the NV of the other point that we can. So the NL point we said here, and then we've also working with the kidney 27 and the NV of that, and then find the involved meridian beginning and end point of the face. So BE, which point? This bladder, triple warmer, if there's adrenals, then intestinal hold, and 0.7. Okay, test to hold the NL, yeah, and then tap set point or vice versa. Okay, this is a bit different to what I remember. I was following it, it's like step by step. It's like I remember it a different way, but it was, so long ago that I did these balances, and a lot of them I can do now from memory, but it's always good to come back and refresh as well. Okay. Then, is there anything else I need to check? Let's come back to here, and that's checking. Then I'm just doing a quick version because I don't want to keep you here unnecessarily. Do I need any other liver support at the moment other than what I'm already doing? Okay. So that's my page 1 of part 2. You need to know, is there another balance to be done today? There is. From the digital database, yes, okay, indicator change. Electrical, emotional, personal ecology, structural, spiritual, self, structure, function, reactives, other. Other from the digital list. I call that because sometimes I'll put other modalities into other as well, other modalities that I've studied and qualified in. First page, amygdala, bone, brain, candida, crystals, death, geospiritual glands, higher source input, and that's the finger mode. And so higher source represents being able to receive from above. So while I don't have that within my kinesiology context, the finger mode for it is this. I put it into circuit, and then I find out what balance technique I can do, because I have studied metaphysical studies and psychic development, Reiki, and many other things which are quite similar in form to this balance, but I'll find the emotion on it as well. Amygdala. Sometimes we cut off from our intuitive selves due to fear, or because we've seen something that we don't want to see or we're afraid of seeing in the future. That's the emotion of anxiety. And okay, so what technique am I doing? Not digital database. CABS, no. One of my other, no. A spray, the Alchemy of Healing Resonant Essence sprays. I'm just referring to my cabinet that's over here. I've got the products in a row, first row, second row, third row, first, second, third bottle from the third row. I'm just going to get that now. these, I describe it almost like a kinesiology balance in a bottle, and how actually been created by two people that studied the same kinesiology course that I did. They were a year ahead of me, and they're based in Crow's Nest, New South Wales, Australia, and created this amazing range of resonant essence products. There's essences, there's oils, there's sprays, and for the context of this balance, I've been called to use this spray to help with my higher source input. And so I'm going to spray it around me, and particularly this area, because this is what it relates to. Of course, it's going to fill my entire energy being, and then I'll read the affirmation that goes with this product, front and back. Breathing it in, imagining that you can breathe it in at the same time, because if you're here watching this, it's likely that what's going on for me is also in some way going on for you. So just closing your eyes. Awakening my divine soul spark to infinite love and radiant power of the golden ascension codes, weaving the wisdom gained from soul experience into the living tapestry of light, the ever-evolving source consciousness that now releases me from the karmic matrix to explore the freedom, light, and liberation of higher dimensional selves. I'm being called to spray it on my heart space as well. Oh. Right, lots of shifting going on there. Anxiety can come about from separation, and if I've been separating myself from the higher dimensional realms, it creates that disconnect. So I'm feeling now more supported by the universe, by the higher self. Can't even right attention. Spray, nice. Oh, I can hear it in my voice how things have started to calm down. Our throat and our voice is an expression of what's going on with our autonomic nervous system. If you're interested, that's something else I can do on my website, in my shop, the www.empoweringhealth.clinic/shop. Go into the bioresonance section and order an inner voice scan and report. And all you have to do is send me some basic details, a 15-second recording of your voice, and I'll scan it for you and send back a report which shows which frequency, compares your voice against an octave of music to then show which things are peaking most and what's being suppressed, and how you might be able to bring, with suggestions, things back into balance and harmony for yourself, but also your own personal audio files that you can listen to, which also helps support your emotions, because emotions are energy in motion and helps, and often are the underlying contributing factor to a lot of dis-ease, discomfort in your body, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, beautiful. So that was a continuation of the previous balance with liver function, interestingly, because stress can also have an impact on our liver in the physical, but this stems back to this having been disconnected from my higher source input due to anxieties, but which, you know, came first, who knows? Now, do I need to know? No. Is there another balance to be done today? Is it okay to start checking from the beginning? Nice. So coming back to the original goal statement, I am comfortable with my abundance of wealth. And that's now testing strong. So we always write I'm not a doctor, so I don't treat, diagnose, or prescribe. We work with your symptoms towards a goal. And I always do a little, we call it your energetic blueprint, to find out where your over energy is and your under energy, because sometimes we're treating ourselves where the over energy is, when really we need to take that and give it back to where it belongs, or otherwise it could be the other way around, because when there's an under energy somewhere, that organ and those muscles may be weak and not functioning optimally, but really the culprit is where the plus is. And so that's how, with kinesiology and the theories of Chinese medicine, we can actually then find and identify what could be the underlying contributing factors to your actual symptoms and address those, so that you get longer lasting results and a better life, living your best version. Oh, okay, so that was that. Now there was the kidneys point, which had and that's now testing strong. Those balances, my willingness is holding. Okay, Is there any other homework support that I need to do other than what I'm doing? Do I need to do another balance in context of this subject matter again? Yes, I do. How soon? Days, weeks, 2 weeks next time. I need to do another balance. So I shall record that, and then I'll record that and upload it here so you can see the part 3 of the evolution of me working to raise my vibration to be in alignment with being comfortable with having an abundance of wealth in my life. And I hopefully trust that I'll have also some other updates in context of the achievements that I've been seeing along the way as well. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and please like this channel, and watch to the end. So I'm trying to build up my hours of viewing time, because YouTube likes all these things so that it shows my information to more people. The reason I created this YouTube page is so that I can share a free resource with people who are struggling financially with cost of living, particularly that we're experiencing here in Australia, so that they can still work with their well-being and still be their personal best as best that they can. And yeah, there's guided meditations, there's some kinesiology techniques, and every Monday I also do an intuitive reading for you to help you with the week ahead. And at the moment, yeah, I'm doing these, just recording my self balances as well, just as a demonstration of how it is that we work in context of kinesiology. Thank you for your time. Wishing you all the best. Bye.